welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another weekend edition here of the PondCast episode number 107, your weekly dose of all things StarCraft. I'm, of course, your VIP, with you and joined by Kuro, handling the production, and, of course, by the lovely people in the chat as well. Welcome, one and all, to our weekly news and weekly StarCraft news and StarCraft adjacent news wrap-up show. Let's go. Let us jump on in. First things first, there has been a big, actually, thread posted on Reddit regarding the upcoming hotfix. Now, this is a bit of a PSA more than anything. It's easier to kind of spread lies than it is to kind of like clarify things and, and try to correct, otherwise misinformation that is being spread. First things first, the hotfix patch. Now, Wardy did make a joke. He made a joke on his Twitch channel, in his Twitch chat, saying that there was not going to be a patch, and that Solar leaked the details, and the intern rage quit the Discord. From the get-go, this post, even like on its own, didn't really make much sense, because if you remember, Solar, he wasn't the one that was a part of the Discord server to begin with. He was given information by another party who was a little bit more privy to that kind of information. But Wardy made a joke about this, and this was posted to Reddit, and it blew up pretty big, pretty huge. And a lot of people now believe this, unfortunately. Again, Wardy then, after the fact, did actually clarify this, and he was like, "Hey, I was just joking. Like none of this is true. Literally, none of this is true." Going a little bit further into it, the person that posted this, Tasty Chips 1000, is known for posting misinformation. I say misinformation. He's willing to, or he often does, kind of take things and kind of frame them in a certain way to kind of push his own agenda, push his own narrative, push what he wants, and uses things for his own end. I think another reference to this, another example of this actually is last week. I didn't even know about this. But if you remember, last week we did make a post and we did announce talking about how we were going to be casting less. And you can see this week, we have been live a lot less this week. We're in casting less, covering less, as we do take a bit of a break and step away, at least until the post-BlizzCon patch. Well, as I posted that, this same person that made this Wardy post posted saying that I was retiring, and I was like leaving StarCraft. I was like, what? I was like, what the hell?
I feel like not only the pro is not only retiring, because I'm like, okay, maybe he misunderstood, but he also specifically said pulling funding from tournaments.
So this same person is known for, as you mentioned, known for kind of framing things in a disingenuous light just to push what they want and their own narrative, and they're just known for this sort of thing. Did the same thing here in regards to Wardy posting about the patch as well. So just be very careful about that sort of thing. And even without knowing this person and his history, if you go to his Reddit account, by the way, he has all of his history kind of like hidden as well. Which makes sense, just so people don't like notice it as much. But again, when it comes to this sort of thing, I would say when it comes to this sort of thing, just do be worried, do be careful. As we mentioned as well, Solar wasn't even the person that necessarily leaked to begin with. It was given to him by someone else who was in the know in regards to it. Likewise, it wouldn't, if you even think about it, like logically as well, it wouldn't make any sense that would force the person to just not send the patch live because people were talking about it or discussing it. I don't know, there's a lot of it that just wouldn't make sense if you think about it for a moment. So now we of course have confirmation that of course it was a joke to begin with, but there are a lot of people that just believe this, so just be careful out there. Be a little bit critical with how you engage with things and how you consume content, and also be wary of again, Tasty Chips 1000 on Reddit, just because again, like he is known for this quite often. We just again wants to, I guess, post for clicks more than anything. So be careful. Do be careful about said misinformation. Again, as far as we know, the post-BlizzCon patch is still happening. It's still going to be post-BlizzCon. We don't know any further real details about it. Another thing actually about this post as well that I should also clarify, and I've seen this spread out a lot. A lot of people are saying that it's going to be like that the change is going to be up to 10 workers instead of 12. The original leak or the original statement from Solar did not actually say that. That's another red flag that I noticed as well about this. For some, I don't know why, but a lot of people are saying 10 workers. Solar, he said that the worker count was going to change. That's it. Like, he did not specify whether it was going to go up to 10, up to 12, up to 14. There was no specification there from Solar. He just said it was going to change. Again, So like, there is no confirmation of like 10 or 12 or anything like that. So that's another thing. Just to clarify, again, we already covered this weeks ago when Solar's statements first went public and first went live. So hopefully, if you've been watching the podcast, then you'd know this already about some of these specifications. Be informed. Be informed. Up next, though, aside from that, we do have more news, of course. Up next is the Magic Up Masters Cup is going to be going on hiatus. This is a bit of a shame. If you recall, the Magic Up Masters was relatively recently announced earlier this year to be at least funded for like a couple of editions. When it comes to further editions of the Magic Up Masters tournaments, that was still a little bit more up in the air. But we do have an official statement regarding this. It says, "Hello, friends. We're going to take a pause again on continuing Magic Up Masters Cup. Masters Cup. I'm going to blame the balance updates on the fact that aside from the first MMC of the summer, we have struggled to have many people play. I've seen other tournaments that decline a desire to participate in events like this. I'm reevaluating ways to increase participation. Thanks for playing and watching. I'll be in touch hopefully soon about what we'll be doing next." If you remember, this is just for some greater context, the Magic Up Masters Cup is a irregular, or it used to be like a monthly and a bi-weekly tournament for around 4.9k and below players, so amateur players. For amateur players, it was a sister tournament to the Masters One Open. When it comes to the reasoning and rationale here, one, it is a bit of a shame that it sounds like they have been struggling when it comes to participation. This is something that we did notice, so I guess to bolster some of the statements here, we did notice when it comes to the amateur league weeklies, right? Like the participation did get reduced. But if you remember, we didn't really make a strong statement on it because it coincided with them changing websites. So that's another factor as well, is that they changed the website that was hosting the bracket and the signups. So there could be multiple factors when it comes to signups for that event, at least. For Magic Up Masters, like they're associating a little bit harder here. And I would imagine that they probably asked players about it, about reduced participation and reduced like incentive to play as well. On top of that, I think in general, people have been taking note of reduced and declined just participation across the board when it comes to ladder activity. I think that has been, at this point, confirmed that there are less people playing now ever since the patch went live due to those changes. That is true. For our amateur tournaments, maybe Kura can speak a little bit more on this. I don't think we've noticed too much decline for our events. Maybe we're a little bit lucky, at least for our amateur events. Like, they're still relatively decent. I mean, we've always had a smaller pool.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, our amateur tournaments, like, are really very big. Like, usually they're like, you know, around 8 people brackets, and it's like a lot of like people who play regularly. So, you know, so they just play because they've always been playing. But there are some new players as well. So like, I feel like it's more or less stable, but like it's stable on the like small scale.
Yeah. At least our amateur events have been a little bit more stable here. So it's hard to say whether what they're assigning as the reasoning as to low participation is related to that. Another reason could also be, again, like they've been on hiatus for a long time already, so there are less people that are aware of tournaments like this, so it can be harder to reach some newer players as well. There can be other factors like that. But I'd like to believe that like they're not just saying that out of nowhere, that they probably did talk to people. And again, this goes along with some of the other things we've already seen about this most recent patch. There's the reason why we're cutting back our own casting as well, is the current state of the game. So it is a bit of a shame, but again, they're also kind of leaving the door open for potentially returning, potentially post BlizzCon, potentially. So it is a shame. And just to reemphasize, this is a tournament for amateur players. And personally, again, especially for the amateur scene, I would hope that this event does return if we do end up getting a patch, and if we do get a bit of a reinvigoration of the amateur scene, at least in their eyes. I would hope so. Up next, we do have an event regarding Wardy's tournaments, the Wardy TV events in general here. Wardy did make a post kind of maybe alleviating some concerns that people have, confirming, hey, we got events fully funded till the end of the year. So Wardy, he did specify here that we have the summer championship for August/September. We have the Wardy TV 10-year anniversary for end of September. We have the Last Chance Championship, October-November. End of year championship, in December, and then Monday night tournaments guaranteed until the end of the year. Bearing in mind that this is all due to Wardy's Patreon, not just Patreon, but I believe he has other sponsorships as well. But again, a lot of his funds do actually allow for these events to run on a regular basis. So he just, confirms to everyone, hey, like all these tournaments are still going to go on, like nothing's going to be stopping. There's still going to be plenty of StarCraft, at least from Wardy's side of things. So really cool to see Wardy at least announcing that ahead of time, especially in the current environment of StarCraft, where there are a lot of people that are like kind of stepping a little bit back from things. Monday night weeklies. I don't know if we spoke about it, but they even said themselves that I think they made a post last week or this week actually that they had reduced participation and that they were looking to like reevaluate things for their tournament as well. Yeah, I don't think we probably should have spoken. I don't think we necessarily spoke on that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Stegosaurus was mentioning that maybe next week Pegasus Cup will be on patches mode as well, just like KSL that we talked about last week.
Yeah, KSL, they're switching to the patches mod. Pegasus Cups might be doing that as well. Monday night weeklies, as we just mentioned, and I guess to mention now, like they spoke about how they have reduced participation and like they have reduced support, and they're also looking to reevaluate things as well. I guess maybe it's worth us making a post about Tuna Cups. Like we're still going to be hosting our events at least, and we have been asked about switching to the patches mod. I'm still not entirely sold on the patches mod. I'll be honest. It is very fun. It is very refreshing. I think last time I spoke on it, I was like, right now it's fun, it's refreshing, but there isn't really a lot of data right now on the correct way to play, and the meta has not settled yet, so it's kind of hard to make a strong statement about the patches mod. But it is fun, and I will be casting a little bit more patches mod, in the coming weeks anyway, with KSL and with potentially Pegasus Cup as well. Depending on how things go, we might adopt it, maybe.
Speaking of patches mod, have you heard the latest piece of news?
No.
Apparently Shin is getting his own mod as well.
Oh, we're gonna have this shit. We're gonna have competing mods.
Patches looked at it and he said, I believe he said something along the lines that it looks like some ideas from Patches mod, some ideas from Greenet mod, and some like completely different. So it's like another like completely different idea of a balance.
Yeah, we might jump on the Shin mod instead. We'll see.
I believe he's organizing like some show matches in it or something.
Yeah, I know that Crank has been casting some of the other mods as well on his channel. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting time here where other mods are being tested. And we said this during the patches tournament that we casted last week. I'll say it again, that more than anything, I think that the patches mod is just a really good place to just test things, to try out different new ideas, see what works. And if something resonates with the people, then maybe that can be pushed into like the actual live version of the game. So I do think it's like a really nice testing ground. I think a good example of that is the ghost change. The idea of the snipe no longer being interruptible, that was originated in the patches mod that was added to the live game. Force fields not being destroyed by biles, that originated from the patches mod. That's now in the live game as well. And I want to say there was another one. I know patches he did just a storm again. I don't think that was transferred over, but like just examples of like some different ideas, some different things that maybe again resonates with people, with players, with casters as well, and maybe that can be pushed into like an actual idea to go live. I do think that's maybe like I think that's what the patches mod is best at, is testing out like new quirky different things.
Yeah, like I would like to emphasize for those like looking at the patches mod, the point of mods like the patches mod, like a Greenet mod and so on, it's not like, oh, this will be like the PTR and this is how we put it on ladder. Like that's not the idea of these mods. Like this is like more like a sandbox, like, hey, let's put these changes together and see what works and what doesn't.
Yeah. Like Patches even said it himself. Like the Patches mod is not meant to be balanced necessarily. Like it's not meant to be like super serious when it comes to like the competitive balancing between all these races. It's about like coming up with really creative ideas and putting like making that like come to fruition, right? Like and doing something different and something wild. That's why there's so many, like everything has an upgrade. Like it's like everything has upgrades. Everything's very different. It's just a way to just test things out, as Chris said, more like a sandbox sort of thing, which makes it fun. Which does make it fun for sure. So again, we'll be covering a little bit more of the patches mod in the coming weeks. Slowly but surely, we will dip our toes into it, and potentially even the Shin mod as well. Up next, we do have, speaking of mods, StarCraft Evolution. If you recall, last week we did speak on Hyper One, how Hyper One was stepping away from the balance team or the balance kind of like design aspect of the patch of the StarCraft Evolution mod. Was stepping away from that, and now we've had an update from the SC Evo team itself, talking a little bit about the current state of StarCraft Evolution and how the multiplayer aspect is going to be going into currently at least maintenance mode. What does this mean? For the time being, there's no plans on balance changes or balance updates, at least until someone is found to kind of replace Hyper One and take that role of being in charge of like balance, right? Of balancing, of adjusting things, on having a look at the meta and trying to like tweak. Ideally, like they're able to find someone, but until that happens, like currently at least, don't expect any kind of major balance changes. They're still working on other things. They're still working on the ladder, for example. They're still working on the campaign. They're working on still new visual effects. If you remember, again, the StarCraft Evolution mod was very much so in full production before Hyper One ever got involved, and they were mainly focusing on like the campaign aspect of things. Like they were not really concerned with like competitive play and multiplayer. Like they're focusing mainly on creating that like campaign experience and that StarCraft Brood War experience in StarCraft 2, and that aspect of it will still continue, of course, which is really cool, which is really exciting. That also goes into, you know, their unique like assets or art when it comes to like upgrades or visual changes for units. Like all of that will still continue, just no multiplayer changes. Just bear that in mind. Meanwhile, big shout out to Estelle, Luis, GGG, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Bienvenidos. Bienvenidos. Oh. Again, so just as an update here for StarCraft Evolution, don't expect any multiplayer changes anytime soon, but the mod itself is still being worked upon, just again a little bit more in the campaign or 1v or the campaign aspect instead. They're still working on many more things, and yeah, get excited for it for sure. Get excited. Up next, we do have tournaments. Tournaments, of course, have been underway. Big events, of course, are the Pigsty Festival. Pigsty Festival number 8, I think, has wrapped up. Let me just double. No, yes, they have. It did wrap up last weekend, of course. If you recall, last week caught up with this was the group stage, seeing the ZVZ group of all things. But the playoff bracket did actually progress as well. Serral takes down Raynor 4-0, strong showing in that ZVZ to advance on to the grand finals. Solar takes down Zaun in the ZVP as well. And if you remember, my big statement seeing the bracket for the playoffs was, could we avoid the ZVZ finals? No. The answer is we could not. Hero takes down Hero Marine 4-1. Maru takes down Shin 4-0. That's a very strong showing by Maru, by the way. I'm very impressed by Maru's play there. I didn't see the games myself. I'm not entirely certain as to how they played out, but very impressive nonetheless. Raynor takes down Hero 4-2. Maru takes down Zaun 4-2 as well. Then we have a ZVZ semis with Solar versus Raynor. Solar takes down Raynor 4-2 to advance on to the grand finals. To advance on. Meanwhile, Serral takes down Maru 4-2 to advance on as well. And we have a ZVZ final. Serral versus Solar did almost go the distance. Jesus, best of 9 is crazy. All these were best of 7s as well, by the way, all the other matches. But best of 9 finals, 5-3 in favor of Serral. Congratulations, Serral does claim the win. Shout out to Solar for defeating Raynor earlier in the bracket and for taking maps off of Serral as well. GG, well played. Again, we'll get some more ZVZs coming. Don't worry. Don't forget the RSL finals all around the corner as well. They're right around the corner. Up next, we have the GSTL. If you recall, the return of GSTL was last week, or really 2 weeks ago. The Global StarCraft 2 Team League is upon us with teams like Basilisk, Hwasong, NoGG, Shopify, and T1 on side. This week, we had the second round of matches. Remember, it's a round-robin group stage. Basilisk took down NoGG 2-0. Bearing in mind, what does that mean? Basilisk took down NoGG in the Pro League format and in the All-Kill format as well. When it comes to the games themselves, we did see that Serral took down Percival to get that 1-0 advantage. Solar took down Trigger 1-0 as well. Rainer then cleaned house, taking down Clem and Solar. Very impressive play here. Serral, Rainer, Trigger for Team Basilisk. They will be able to claim that win 3-1 in the Pro League format. We then had the all-kill format where Serral all killed, takes down Solar, Clem, and Percival. Again, strong showing by Serral, strong showing by Basilisk. Rainer pulled more than his own weight in the Pro League series. Serral did the same thing in the all-kill series, where he does claim the 3-0. So GG well played together. They do take down OGG. Up next, we have Team Hwasong. Hwasong versus Shopify Rebellion. Remember, Hwasong is a reference to Hwasong Oz, the old Brood War team. But Hwasong, they take down Shopify 3-2. Rogue takes down Scarlet in the initial game. Lambo takes down Cure. So we do have a bit of a back and forth. Impressive play by Lambo, by the way, and I want to emphasize that. Björn takes down SOS, so Shopify take a lead. Cure takes down Björn in the TBT. Went all the way to the ace match. Rogue takes down Lambo in the ZVZ ace match. Just barely, Hwasong Oz, they take down Shopify. Then we had the all-kill format. And Lambo, of all players, Lambo all kills. He took down Cure earlier in the Pro League format. Here, he takes down Rogue, SOS, and Cure. It was a very impressive showing here by Lambo. Typically a player, maybe even a tier below some of these players. Like when you think of the top Zergs, you think of Solar, Shin, Rogue, you think of Rainer, you think of Serral. Lambo just behind them. But here he put on a very good showing. Takes down, he all kills Hwasong, which forces the ace match. Super ace match here, ZVZ between Rogue and Lambo. If you recall at the time, I was concerned because it was like, yo, Lambo's playing so many games in a row. He was the ace player for the Pro League series. Then he went straight into the all-kill format, and then bam, into the ace match as well. So a lot of games back to back to back. It all came down to a singular best of one, and Rogue does take down Lambo in the end. Congratulations, Hwasong. They will claim the series 2-1 over Shopify. GG well played. With that, day 3 of GSTL is going to be in 2 days. 2 days' time, we do have Shopify versus T1 Onside and Hwasong versus Basilisk. So we're going to have more matches. Then in 5 days' time, we have day 4. And then in 2 weeks' time, we have the next set of matches. So by the time we have the next podcast, we'll have more matches to go over and to cover. Again, we do cover this live on our own channel over on Soup. VODs are available afterwards on YouTube. And you can see they are currently available. So VODs are available. Check them out over on YouTube. Otherwise, live casts are on Soup. Do check it out. Up next, we do have our modded tournaments for the week. Up first is going to be the Berry Patch. The Berry Patch Open number 2. I believe this is a tournament hosted on the Patches mod, sponsored by Berry Crunch, the streamer, if I'm familiar. No, sorry, it is organized by Berry Crunch. My apologies. But it is on the Patches mod. When it comes to this event, it was a 400 USD tournament, an irregular event. But what did take place? Here we had Clem. Clem takes down Fianta 2-0. Hero takes down Percival 2-0. Clem takes down Hero to advance on to the upper bracket finals. Solar takes down GG Machine. Solar takes down Björn. And we have an upper bracket TVZ between Clem and Solar, which Clem does win. Clem takes down Solo 2-1 to advance on to the grand finals. Scrolling down to the lower bracket here, we have pure best of ones until the lower bracket finals. Here, Hero knocks Björn out of the tournament. Solar takes down Hero 2-1. Went to the ace match, but Solar does claim the series. And Solar, he gets his revenge here in the rematch. He takes down Clem 4-2. Big win here for Solar. He's going to be the Berry Patch Open number 2 champion. So GG well played. Congratulations to Solar. He will claim the win. That leads us into the Patches Monday tournament, also on the Patches mod, but this is organized by Rotterdam instead. Here we did have a similar showing of players. We have some more Europeans. We have Max Pax. Max Pax, he does join the fray. So Björn takes down Uwu Thermal. Max Pax 2-0s Björn. Hero this time 2-0s Clem. So Hero does have a stronger showing here in the upper bracket semis. Then we get a PvP. Max Pax takes down Hero 2-1 to advance on to the grand finals. Who took down Clem? Am I blind? Oh, he played Protoss. Fiant takes down Clem's Protoss. Björn takes down Fiant. Björn takes down Hero. We get a PvT finals best of 3. Interesting. I recall that Roddy has been doing this, but best of 3 finals. Max Pax takes down Björn 2-1 to become this week's champion Congratulations. Congratulations to MaxFax for claiming the Patches Monday win. GG, well played. That leads us into the Patches Monthly #1. This is organized by Patches, not by Rotterdam. I believe this is the first monthly of the Patches circuit. I believe the Berry Patch event was also a part of the circuit as well. So I think this was an invitational. I'd have to double check that. No. Okay, never mind. Not on the invitational. My apologies. This event was just open for all. Once again, bigger prize pool, but this time single elimination. Single elimination bracket here. Best of 5 semis, best of 5 grand finals. Here we had Clem. Clem takes down Beyond 3-0. Solar takes down Lambo 3-0. Then we have Solar versus Clem. Solar will claim the win 3-0 over Clem. GG. GG will play. Congratulations, Solar. He will claim the win. I have a hard time really giving too much more feedback on some of these results just because they are all on the Patches mod. And as I mentioned before, the Patches mod right now is still in flux. Like, the meta has not stabilized. So it's still players kind of like exploring what the mod has to offer and kind of like seeing what works and what doesn't work. We're still kind of in this like honeymoon period or phase of the mod, and players, they're enjoying themselves, they're having fun. We're seeing more and more events like this. Speaking of, Wardy does host an event as well. A little bit different though. This was not on the Patches mod. If I remember correctly, specifically for the PVZs, the players Zerg and Protoss agreed that they would play on a mod that actually plays the game on the previous version of the game. And they were going to alternate. So the way it works here is that Game 1 and Game 3 of these best of 5s were played on the new mod, 2 and 4 played on the old mod. The new version of the game and the old version of the game. So one game they'd play 12 workers, the other game they'd play 8 workers. Just to clarify that. Specifically only for the PVZs, by the way. So this was a 4-player invitational. The reason why Wardy did host this event is because there was no Kung Fu Cup this week. We already knew that there was no Kung Fu Cup, but Wardy just assumed there would be, and he wanted to run a tournament, so they alongside Inu, they were able to organize these players and host an event. So Hero takes down Beyond 3-2 to advance on to the grand finals. Shin takes down Classic 3-1 to advance on into the finals as well. And that leads us into the grand finals. Hero takes down Shin 3-1. But again, as a reminder, many of these games were played on the previous 12-worker start instead, without the gateway changes as well. Like, it isn't just a worker change, but it's just the old mod. The old patch. The old patch. Hero takes down Shin 3-1. GG. GG will play. Congratulations here to Hero. And again, interesting decision when it comes to how they played this event. A little bit complicated, but regardless, congratulations to Hero for claiming the win. GG. GG will play. That leads us into our amateur events here for the week. Up first is going to be the Amateur League Weekly number 170. We did make reference to this earlier, how there have been less signups to these events, and you can see it here a little bit as well. It is going to be Deep Sun versus Tebs, the only 2 players in the Bronze to Platinum edition, the Initiate edition, or Initiate Weekly. Deep Sun takes down Tebs 3-1 to claim the win here in the Initiate Weekly. Up next is the Veteran Edition. This is for Diamond 3 to Diamond 2. Here we had double elimination bracket instead. Pretty Fly takes down Glacius 2-0. Smite Steel takes down Pretty Fly 2-1. Smite Steel takes down Happy T-Kid 2-1 as well. Then we get a grand finals match here between Smite Steel and Balimko. Came in from the lower bracket. Very impressive run, by the way. He took down a lot of players down there in the best of ones. Does go 3-1 in favor of Smite Steel UA. Congratulations to Smite Steel for claiming the win and for becoming this week's veteran champion. Up next is the Prestige Edition. This is a weekly for Diamond 1 to Masters 2. Usually this is the most populated brackets of players. So here we only had a handful of them. We had Defiance, Jasher D, Nelson, Boreal, and Beast. Looks like Blue Knight was unable to compete, at least in the upper bracket. Defiance takes down Boreal 2-1. Beast takes down Jasher D. Beast takes down Defiance, and Beast takes down Defiance 3-0 in the grand finals. Beast cruising his way into a win here. I feel like a lot of the competitors that can stand tall against Beast were not here this week, referring to like Set or Zigger or Dizzy Dwarf or some of these other guys. They were not present. Up next is the Elite Edition for M1 to GM. Here, walkover win for Nox. And Nox does get the walkover win and does claim the win here in the final edition. Up next was our amateur tournament at the Masters 1 Open number 106. This is a monthly tournament for 4.7k and below. Here we did have our top players. Here we go. We had a couple of fresher faces, but otherwise mainly regulars here. There's Beast. Hey, you saw him earlier. Beast, he takes down Aunt Tuddy 2-0. He takes down Boreal 2-1. Went to the ace match, and he does face off against Set in the grand finals. Set took down Zigger earlier in the semis. It was the best of 5 PVZ, and Beast does take down Set 3-0. GG, well played. Congratulations. Beast does claim the win. Does take Set down. So congratulations to Beast for claiming 2 wins this week in the amateur tournaments. Up next, we have our regional events. Up first is going to be the Legacy Weekly Japan, number 513. We're here for some boba. Gib, Pappy Gib. And no, he's not here. There's no boba this week. So here we have Sayark. Sayark takes down Kaiman 2-0, takes down Hirekui 2-0, and takes down Jacko 2-1. Crimson was taken down in the semifinals, but there is no Vaisravanya and there is no Tapioca either. No boba this week. No boba. So, but congratulations to Sayark nonetheless. Congratulations. Sayark does claim the win. That leads us into the Aeneas Cup number 14. If you remember, this used to be PCEC, now rebranded as Team Aeneas. Or Aeneas? Aeneas? This is fine. But this is a tournament for the Chinese scene, for the Chinese region, and we did have a ZVG. There's a lot of Zerg in this bracket. Oh my god. Who is that? So we have Latte. Latte does advance on the grand finals. I think Latte faced off against Nanyu. Hold on. Let's. Who is this? No, I don't know this person. Tong Tong. Okay, that's those are characters I've never seen before. So Latte takes down his opponent 3-1 to advance on to the grand finals. And who is this person? Let me just double check here. It's a longer list of characters. Is that? No, who is that? That's not Keyboard Warrior. It is. It's. Is this Keyboard Poison? The translation's a little bit weird. It says keyboard.
There was like Keyboard Poison Milk or something.
Yeah, that's it. That's this guy. Yeah. Because I remember there was someone like that. Yeah, Keyboard Poison Milk.
Keyboard Warriors.
Yeah, there was actual Keyboard Warrior who's not Zerg. That's what confused me because I saw the keyboard. This is like Keyboard Poison, or Poison to Keyboard, if you will. Maybe that's like a better translation. But yeah, Poison Keyboard. We've seen him before. He has made an appearance in some of these brackets in the past. Does make it to the grand finals. So let's fall to Latte 3-0. So 3-0. Latte will claim the win. We need, you know what we need? We need a series between Latte and Tapioca. That's what we need. We need,
yes,
we need like
make it happen. Yuli, find the guy.
Yes, we need like a coffee bubble tea show match. That's
coffee needs to be there. True.
Yeah, there we go. Coffee, latte, and tapioca.
No, the question is, are we letting in lemon? Is coffee lemon?
He doesn't fit.
Yeah, not really.
No.
But
Nestea can cast.
Nestea can cast. And I think we should have chocolate admining. You know.
Oh yeah. He can admin. He can. Lemon can admin as well. They can.
Okay.
Yeah. They're like supplemental to the main guys.
Should we like get miso for casting?
Nah, that's a stretch. Nah, that is not.
It's not related, but I mean there are a few other food related people.
This is specifically beverage. Okay.
So drink.
Drink, yeah. we both went there. Yeah, drink. Yeah. Drink. He can be involved. True. He's allowed. But congratulations to Latte for claiming the win, 3-0 of his opponent, as that leads us into our next big event, the other Chinese tournament, the StarCraft 2 Weekly Open Tournament 2026 Season 2 Season Finals. Again, this is a big event sponsored by Thunderfire. This is organized by, I want to say, SC Boy? I think they're involved in some way. It's casted by the official like Doyo Blizzard channel. I will say that at least. And like Sarutobi and Sayo, they're all involved. Like SE Boy, they're tangentially involved. For this event, though, we have Lemon. Lemony takes down Cyan 3-1, takes down Misaki 3-1. I believe Misaki took down, I believe that is Sarah Kerrigan. Let me just double check. Yes. So Misaki takes down Sarah Kerrigan 3-2 in the first round. Intense back and forth between the two of them. I'll say that's a big win for Misaki, to be honest. Like, I do rate Sarah Kerrigan a little bit higher. Oriana took down his opponent in the first round. I believe that is that's Silky. Okay. So Oriana takes down Silky. That's a huge win for Oriana, by the way. That's huge. Okay, so Oriana takes down Silky in the first round. Meanwhile, that's Nanyo. There we go. Jeshi takes down Nanyo 3-0. Lemon takes down Cyan. Oriana takes down Jeshi. These are huge. Like, again, I don't know if you recall this, Kuro, but Oriana, it's been a while since he has had a performance this strong. Like last week we spoke about it because I think last week Oriana won the weekly tournament, which caught us off guard as well. But usually when we look at the top players in China, we think of Jeshi, we think of Cyan, we think of Coffee, we think of Millennium Fox, we think of Nanyo, Nanami Chiaki. There's like a long list of players ahead of Oriana. Oriana hasn't really been active since back when he was playing in GPO. If you remember, he used to be regular in Grand Platypus Open back in the day when we opened it up for the Chinese region. Like back then, during like the COVID era of StarCraft, like he was more active. Then he took like a big step back, still playing in tournaments, but suddenly looking really good. Takes down Silky, takes down Jeshi 3-2, and goes to the ace match against Lemon. Very, very strong performance there by Oriana. Doesn't win, but Oriana definitely overperforms more so than we're used to seeing him perform. So very, very impressive there. Lemon does claim the win. Lemon is usually favored in these events, but Oriana was a big underdog and went insanely far. So congratulations to Lemon. Big shout out to Oriana. Big shout out. Up next was a show match. We did have a show match here between Creator and is that Nanyo? Yeah, it is. Ah, okay. That's kind of crazy. So a bit of a random show match here by Liu Li. Nanyo and Creator, they play best of 7. Creator, of course, he is pseudo-retired. For those that are unaware, Creator, he now has a full-time job. And he still dips his toes into StarCraft every now and then, but it is no longer his main focus. And it was, I think, last week or the week before that when Nanyo had a show match against Mana, and they went to the ace match, and Mana did win. Here, Nanyo has a show match against Creator. They also go to the ace match, and Nanyo takes down Creator. GG well played. Very impressive play there by Nanyo. Very impressive run. And again, Creator, he is not necessarily in form or in shape like he used to be, but that's still an impressive win nonetheless here for Nanyo. And really cool to see Creator actually take part regardless. He's still dipping his toes into StarCraft every now and then. So it's cool to see. Up next we had Lily Cup number 53 of the quarterfinals. I feel like it's been a while since we've had a Lily Cup. Yeah, it's been a long time. Double checking here. Lily Cup number 51 must have been at the start of the year. It was not too long ago. It was like a weird show match. Never mind. Was back in May. Before that, we had, just double checking here, back in April, we also had a weird show match, like an Archon show match. When was the last real Lily Cup? Maybe last year. I don't think we've had one since the Lily Cup, since the grand finals. Okay. It's just been like Archon show matches. So for this event, it is Chinese focused. We have Millennium Fox takes down Rewhite 3-2. Jeshi takes down Nanyo 3-2 to advance onto the semis. Cyan takes down Oriana 3-2, and I believe that is Silky takes down Sarah Kerrigan 3-2 as well. Honestly, really good list of invitational or invites here. Really good list of players when it comes to the Chinese region and the Chinese scene. I do like the diversity here of some well-known players like Silky, Cyan, and Jeshi, like the old guard, mixed with like the newer generation of players as well. So really nice mix. Here we have up next for the semis, Jeshi versus Millennium Fox and Cyan versus Silky. So we have the next set of players here. I would imagine here, I still favor probably Silky into Jeshi in the grand finals, but it'd be really cool if we got an upset and if Millennium Fox goes far. We'll see. Best of luck to the players though, as the semifinals will take place now. Currently live apparently. Okay, best of luck. Best of luck to the players. That leads us into the Bastards Break main battle. It's number 127. Another weekly show match series. Up first, we had the fun one. We had Mana versus Kelazur. Diego 3-0 over Mana. Very nice here. Very impressive. Diego, he is also basically retired. Like Diego, he barely plays in anything, but he 3-0s Mana, despite the fact that Mana is more in form. GG. GG played Kelazur. He does claim the win. Up next, we have a TVT, the good one between Icaracti and Big Gabe. I would say this feels like a bit of a mismatch. Like, technically, Nickract is top 4 Terran in Europe. That is true. But I would say that the gap between Nickract and Gabe is still a little bit bigger here. Yeah, so I feel like this is like a bit of a mismatch, but regardless, like Gabe does claim the win 3-1 over Nickract. Then we had the Bassus one. We had Cyril versus Cure. ZVT. Oh, went to the ace match. We have seen Cure take down Cyril before, and Eerie does take some maps, but only the first 2. Then we had Cyril with the reverse, the reversal here. It was able to take down Cure 3-2. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Cyril for claiming the win over Cure. That leads us into this week's OSC King of the Hill. OSC King of the Hill weekly number 260. Bearing in mind this is a King of the Hill style format. A winner stays on, loser is knocked out. Best of ones. The starting player was Björn. Björn, he was a starting player here. Björn, he does take down Vaeda, takes down Art, takes down Defiance, takes down Nickract, Fiant, Hon Mono, Elster, and Elster. 7 wins in a row. Massive win streak here for Björn. And who stops him? Percival. Percival, he is renowned nowadays for his TVT, as he more regularly takes down Björn and Cure on a much more regular basis. Percival takes down Björn. He goes on his own win streak, takes down Björn, Cristiano, Signier, Jumi, Inexorable, Shameless, Elser, and Mana. And with that, they kind of split their wins. They Jesus. GG, well played. Congratulations. Percival, he will be the final King of the Hill, and the only players to win matches here this week are Björn and Percival. So that's Wall of Blue. It's crazy, Wall of Blue. GG, well played. Congratulations to Percival and to Björn as well. That leads us into this week's Open tournaments. We did mention that some of the other Open Cups have been on a bit of a hiatus. This was the week where there was no Kung Fu Cup, but Monday Night Weeklies have taken a bit of a step back. Here we had the Sparkling Tunic Cup, the STCR Weekly Open Tournament. Here we had a rare sight. Before we get into like the bigger names, El Huevito, eggs. It is very, very rare to have Latin American players in our tournaments because our events are very late. They're very late for the Americas. / early, depending on how you look at it. But it's at a very, very, very rough time for the Americas.
Speaking of, shout out to Boreal, who shows up for like every single amateur one.
True. Yeah, like Boreal. I want to say there's another one. Sometimes Elaine, right? Like sometimes there's like some players from Mexico, some players from other areas of Latin America that do play in our tournaments, which is crazy, by the way. Eggs as well. Like I think this is maybe the first time Eggs has played in Tunic Cup, maybe the second. But like again, it's very, very rare to see players from the Americas like stay up and play or wake up early and play.
Yeah, speaking of America, it's not just Latin America. Camo plays in like almost every single of our tournaments.
True. He's also a pure degen. He's oh my god. But initially though, Shin takes down Homono 2-0, takes down Classic at 2-0 to advance on to the grand finals. Meanwhile, Hero takes down Nickract 2-0, takes down Björn 2-0 as well. So both players that kind of cruise their way in, taking down some big names like Classic and Björn on the way. Bear that in mind. And Shin takes down Hero 3-1 in the grand finals to be this week's Sparkling Tunic Cup champion. GG well played. Hero, once again, he did try a plethora of different builds, but Shin was very solid in his play, shut it all down, and did claim that series. Up next, we have this week's What Is You Monday, the What Is You Monday number 101. We, at least for our tournament, were able to avoid the ZVZ finals. I cannot say the same for Wardy's event, though, as Solar takes down Hero 2-1, takes down Cure 2-1 to advance onto the finals. Shin takes down Clem 2-1. Shin takes down Rogue 2-1 as well. And then we get our ZVZ finals, Solar versus Shin. Solar does claim it 3-1 to become this week's Wardy TV champion. GG. GG all play. Congratulations here to Solar. That leads us into this week's Bigger Cup. In this week's Bigger Cup, we have no ZVZ finals either, but Solar, geez, he's cleaning house this week. Takes down Percival 3-1. Hero takes down Beyond 3-0. Strong showing out of Hero. In the end, though, Solar does take down Hero 3-1 in the grand finals. Also, I glossed over it, but Hero did off race in our tournament in the Sparkling Tuna Cup. Hero did play Zerg and play Terran as well. Just bear that in mind. Hero played the only game that Hero won against Shin was playing Zerg. He played the ZVZ and Hero did defeat Shin. Did lose with his Terran. For the Pegasus Cup, it's possible that Hero also off raced against Solar in the Pegasus Cup. I say that just because notoriously, we sometimes don't get the best updates for these events, so I might have to just double check the VOD just to confirm whether or not Hero did play Protoss or whether or not he played Zerg or Terran instead. So we will have to double check on that one. We'll have to double check. But otherwise, congratulations. Solar does claim the win. Does claim the win over Hero. Actually, can I just check now? I think Hero did play Protoss. I remember. Yeah. Did play Protoss. But otherwise, with that, again, a bit of a slimmer PondCast here this week, as there just weren't as many events. Again, BlizzCon is still right around the corner. RSL finals are still right around the corner as well. And we are still hoping for that post-BlizzCon patch. If you want to take part in some of these events, amateur events or otherwise, !sign up list. Sign up list in the chat. All the events should be listed there. We do our best to update this list on a regular basis with all tournaments, not just amateur events, open cups, even restricted region locked events as well. If there are any restrictions, they are listed there. They'll tell you like the StarCraft Weekly is only for Chinese players, or Legacy with Japan only for Japanese players, just as a heads up. But it does have all the relevant information available to you and a countdown timer as well.
Yes.
Tomorrow we're going to be live with the ISSL.
And also because specifically the reason why I am hosting this list on Liquipedia is because everybody who can edit Liquipedia can also edit this list. So if you see a tournament that's missing, you can also add it yourself. Or send it to us and we can add it. There we go. So yeah, so you can help contribute if you wish over on Wikipedia. Otherwise, again, we have all the tournaments here. We have the KSL, the Korean StarCraft League, or we have the Platinum Heroes Tour as well on the horizon. Tunic Cups, What Is You Monday's Bigger Cups, all is available there on that sign-up list. All available there. So do check it out. Otherwise, we are going to be wrapping up here for the time being. If you want to support us, you can do so via Patreon. Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon does fund our events on a regular basis. So if you want to help fund and support Sparkling Tuna Cup, Masters 1 Open, and Sea Duckling Open, it is all funded via the Patreon. It's all there. It is all there on Patreon, so you can help support us if you wish. Otherwise, we did just kind of gloss over it, but the next broadcast here on the channel should be tomorrow. It should be the ISSL. Into the Inu Super StarCraft League. We have more GSTL on Saturday, and we have the Tuna Cup on Sunday as well. So plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. As a quick note for those who are waiting for that broadcast, the Patches replaycast, the Patches mod replaycast, has been rescheduled to later in the month. So it's not gonna be tomorrow, despite what it was originally.
Yeah, we are going to be moving some things around, whether it's the Patches Patch Clash, and also we have the Enki Epic series on the horizon as well, just as a heads up. Speaking of the Patches mod tournaments, I should also clarify as well that I believe KSL is also organized for this weekend.
Yes.
We'll get into it.
Yeah. I just saw the bracket up. So yeah, it is also on Patches mod.
Mm-hmm. It is also going to be the patches mod, so bear that in mind. Otherwise, we are going to be wrapping up for the time being, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the ISSL. See you tomorrow.